3 other pilots, your choice, a crew of aides, and 1 ship. You'll be in command of the Allegiance, an Imperial-class star destroyer. I remember her. Well then. Kraken took a data card from a pocket and held it out. Your orders. You and the pilots you choose will rendezvous with Allegiance at the coordinates provided here. Wedge offered Kraken nothing but a steady stare. I need this leave, General. Find someone else. Kraken's face flushed. You're coming dangerously close to insubordination, General. No, General. Wedge took the data card from Kraken's hand. I'm not your subordinate. And what I'm coming dangerously close to is violence. Perhaps you'd better leave. Kraken stood there a moment, then turned away. As he passed through the door, he said, Pack your dress uniform, General. Then he was gone. Wedge's X-Wing and the 3 snub fighters accompanying him dropped out of hyperspace at the same instant. Unfamiliar stars surrounded them, but within visual range was something Wedge recognized, the white triangular form of an Imperial-class star destroyer. His sensor unit tagged it immediately as Allegiance, his expected rendezvous. Red flight, he said. We are cleared to land. As he and his fellows sat down, Wedge saw the main doorway into the Starfighter bay open upward and a crowd of people enter. Among them were a man in a Fleet Command captain's uniform, the usual complement of junior officers and guards, and what looked like a woman with 2 heads, one of them shining silver. Wedge descended his access ladder and extended his hand toward the highest-ranking officer. Captain Sullivan. The captain followed Wedge's informal fashion of greeting and shook his hand. Welcome aboard, General Antilles. Allow me to introduce you to my senior officers. Then the captain gestured to the 2-headed woman. And the mission documentarian, Alice Saper. I'm so happy to meet the most famous pilot of Starfighter Command. Wedge could finally give her his full attention. She was a tall woman with long brown hair worn in a braid. He could not read her eyes as they were concealed behind goggles darkened almost to opacity. And on her right shoulder, held on a bracket affixed to her clothing, was the silver head of a protocol droid. Thank you, he said. I couldn't help noticing that you have 2 heads. She smiled. This is White Cap, my holo-recording unit. I put him together from a ruined protocol droid and a standard holocam. I added memory and some basic conversational circuitry and programming. He looks wherever I look. The goggles have sensors that track my eye movement and records whatever I see. Wedge returned his attention to Captain Sullivan. Allow me, in turn, to introduce you to my pilots. I present Colonel Tycho Selku, leader of Rogue Squadron. Tycho offered the ship captain a salute. He was a lean man, blond, graying in dignified fashion at the temples, with handsome features and an aristocrat's bearing. The perfection of his looks might have made him appear severe, even cruel in earlier years, but the beatings life had handed him had weathered him in spirit, if not in form. Now one looked in his eyes and saw the humanity and the signs of distant pain there. And this is Major Wes Jansen, and if you're not aware of his exploits, I'm sure he'll be delighted to give you the whole story. Jansen shot Wedge a cool look as he shook the ship captain's hand. Good to be here. He turned to the documentarian. Oh, and Alice, I'm better known for my breathtaking looks than my fighting skills, so don't forget that this is my good side. Wedge suppressed a snort. Jansen's self-promotion came out of a desire to entertain, but he was as good-looking as he suggested. His hair was a rich brown, and his merry features were preternaturally youthful. He was now in his 30s, but could pass for 10 years younger. And Major Derek Clivian, Wedge concluded. The 4th pilot leaned in for a handshake. He was lean with dark hair and a face best suited to wearing mournful expressions. He, too, turned to the documentarian. Everyone calls me Hobby, he said. Wedge resisted the urge to look into the eyes of the recording unit. It was best to train himself now to ignore it, but he couldn't help but wonder how he'd look beside his more colorful subordinate pilots. He gave an internal shrug, hoping he didn't suffer as much as he feared in comparison with